Let's talk about the green card, America's not-so-green, but highly coveted permanent resident card. For millions around the world, this small piece of plastic represents hope, opportunity, and a new beginning in a country known for its dreams. It's the golden ticket for immigrants who want to live and work in the U.S. permanently. With a green card, doors open to a future that once seemed out of reach, one filled with possibilities and the promise of a better life. People spend years and often a fortune trying to get one. The process can be long, confusing, and emotionally draining, with families separated and dreams put on hold while paperwork winds its way through the system. With it, you can own property, work freely, and even join the military. Green card holders contribute to every part of American society, building businesses, serving in the armed forces, and enriching communities. It's the first real step toward U.S. citizenship. For many, it's the moment when the American dream starts to feel real, and the path to full belonging begins. Green cards are granted for many reasons: employer sponsorship, family reunification, and sometimes for those with extraordinary abilities or special skills that benefit the country. Or as a lifeline for refugees and asylum seekers, offering safety and a chance to rebuild after hardship and loss. Once you have it, you might think you're set, ready to embrace American life, quirks and all. You can settle down, make friends, and start building your future. But there are limits. Important ones you can't ignore. You can't vote in federal elections, can't run for president, and your voice in the political process is still limited, no matter how long you've lived here. And most importantly, your status isn't truly permanent. The word permanent can be misleading because your right to stay can be taken away. Under certain circumstances, your green card can be revoked. Mistakes, misunderstandings, or changes in the law can put your future at risk, sometimes with little warning. This is the fine print most hope never to read. It's the part of the American dream that comes with conditions, and it can be a source of constant anxiety. The green card has always promised stability, a reward for following the rules, working hard, and contributing to society. Millions have built their lives on that promise, raising families, starting businesses, and becoming part of the American fabric. But what happens when the rules suddenly change, not just for newcomers, but for those who've played by them for years? When the ground shifts beneath your feet, the sense of security can vanish overnight. That's the unsettling question facing millions of legal residents today, people who have done everything right, but now find themselves wondering if the American dream is still within reach. Who's changing the rules? President Trump and Vice President JD Vance. Their administration has made immigration a central issue. Again. This time, their focus isn't just the border, but the millions of legal residents already here. Vance has long argued for reducing all forms of immigration, saying green cards shouldn't be a permanent shield. The new approach treats legal residency as a conditional privilege, not a right. The administration frames these changes as protecting national interests and security. They're reviewing immigration laws to find new grounds for deportation. The bar for staying in the U.S. is being raised, and this isn't just talk. Real enforcement is underway. So, what's changed? The 2025 rules have expanded what can get a green card holder deported. It's no longer just serious felonies. Now certain misdemeanors can trigger deportation, especially repeat offenses. Petty theft, DUIs, or even domestic disputes can put your status at risk. The public charge rule is tougher. Using public benefits, even legally, can now count against you. Vague new categories like failure to assimilate or acting against the public interest give officials broad discretion. Everyday life now feels like walking on eggshells. A minor mistake or a misunderstood action could mean losing everything. The uncertainty is what worries people most. These rules aren't just legal jargon. They can tear families apart, changing the course of their lives in ways that are deeply personal and often heartbreaking. Imagine Carlos, a green card holder for 15 years who has built a life here with his U.S. citizen kids, working hard and paying taxes, believing he was secure. But now a decade-old misdemeanor, something he thought was behind him, could suddenly get him deported, tearing him away from his children and everything he knows. Or consider Maria, an elderly woman who has lived here for decades, relying on public benefits after her husband's death just to get by. Her legal use of assistance, which once offered her a lifeline, could now be used against her as grounds for losing her residency and facing possible deportation. An IT specialist with a single DUI conviction could lose his job, his visa, and be forced to uproot his family overnight, leaving behind a life they've worked years to build. These aren't rare or isolated cases. They're quickly becoming the new reality for millions of families across the country, regardless of how long they've lived here or how much they've contributed. Legal residents now live in constant fear that any misstep, no matter how small, could put their entire future at risk. Everyday decisions, like calling the police in an emergency or applying for benefits to feed their children, become fraught with risk and uncertainty. Families must constantly weigh the consequences of seeking help or reporting problems, often choosing silence over safety or support. The result is a growing sense of anxiety, distrust, and a chilling effect on community life as people withdraw from public spaces and support systems. People are afraid to seek help, even when they need it most, fearing that any interaction could put them or their loved ones in jeopardy. The fabric of trust in institutions is fraying as more families feel abandoned and unwelcome in the very place they call home. The American dream, once a beacon of hope and opportunity, is now shadowed by fear and uncertainty for so many. For many, the sense of stability and belonging they once felt now seems more fragile than ever, as they wonder what the future holds for their families. These changes have ignited fierce debate. Supporters say the rules protect the nation, arguing green card holders should be held to high standards. They believe stricter enforcement keeps communities safe and public benefits reserved for citizens. It's about accountability and national security. Opponents, however, see the rules as cruel and unjust. They argue it punishes legal residents more harshly than citizens for the same mistakes. Families could be torn apart and people driven into the shadows. The fear is that these policies erode trust and make communities less safe. The American dream, for many, now feels like a moving target. The debate is about what kind of country America wants to be. To truly understand the impact of recent changes, let's meet Elena, a dedicated nurse who came to the United States from the Philippines in search of a better life for herself and her family. For the past 12 years, Elena has proudly held a green card, a symbol of her hard work and her hope for a secure future in America. Every day, she works long, demanding hours at the hospital, caring for patients and supporting her colleagues. She pays her taxes, follows the rules, and is raising 2 children who were both born here in the United States. For years, Elena felt like she was finally building a stable life. But now, uncertainty and anxiety have crept in, making her feel uneasy almost all the time. Something as minor as a traffic ticket can send her into a panic. She constantly wonders, could this small mistake be used against me? Could it threaten everything I've worked for? Elena has never relied on public benefits, but she worries about the future. What if I lose my job or get sick? Would needing help put my status at risk? The fear of being labeled a burden weighs heavily on her mind, even though she's always contributed to her community. Elena describes feeling like she's always on probation. Never fully accepted, always worried that one wrong step could mean losing everything. She encourages her children to be proud Americans, to embrace the country they were born in and call home. But deep down, she fears that she could be forced to leave them behind, separated from the life she's built. How do you explain that kind of fear to a 10-year-old? Elena asks, her voice filled with worry and love. Elena's story is not unique. It's echoed by countless other immigrants who now live with the same uncertainty and fear. Green card holders across the country now face the reality that their lives could be upended at any moment, no matter how hard they work or how much they give back. These are not criminals or strangers. They are our neighbors, our co-workers, and our friends, simply trying to build a better life for their families. But with new rules and shifting policies, that life now feels more fragile and uncertain than ever before. For Elena and so many others, the ground beneath them has shifted, leaving them unsure of what tomorrow will bring. So, what should green card holders do now given the current climate? First, know your rights and understand the new risks that may affect you. Even minor infractions can have major consequences, so always stay vigilant and cautious. If you have any criminal record, consult a qualified immigration attorney immediately. Don't rely on friends or notaries. Get real, professional legal advice from experts. If eligible, apply for U.S. citizenship. It's the only true protection available. Connect with community organizations for legal help, resources, and ongoing support. Stay informed. Immigration law is changing fast, so keep up to date. The American dream was about stability, opportunity, and belonging for all. Now it requires vigilance, legal awareness, and hope that security isn't lost for good.